Okay. So just by way of introduction, this is LowellAnn at the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle, and we experienced a little bit of OBS obstruction this morning, and so I've just turned on the recording. So we are just about to begin our discussion about Scribe. We have already done our intros, so we're not going to do them again. Okay, so Vivek, if you would like to share the screen, we can carry on. So what you're seeing is the Scribe screen. And so by way of introduction to it all, I don't even remember anymore how I stumbled on this, but I did stumble on it somewhere. And there's a very easy way to access the program. And what you do is you go to the Chrome Play Store and look for the Chrome extension called Scribe. And so then once you've got it in your extensions, then you click on the extension and it opens up Scribe. There are two versions. There's a free version and a pro version, of course. The free one is available to you if you are creating something online. If everything you're doing is online, then it's free. However, if you're wanting to do a demo from your own system, then you have to sign up and pay for the pro. So that's all you need to know about setting up Scribe. So then basically what happened was I thought, well, and if we're going to talk about this, I've got to figure out, I've got to use it in some way so that I can demonstrate it and talk about it and be able to talk about the experience. So I decided that I would make use of a template that I created just recently because we had talked about doing book reviews in our success circle here. And I think it was Javita who actually suggested that. And she also said, do you have any sense of how you would, how you would handle doing a book review? And so I created a Google Slides template that a person could use if they were going to be doing a book review. So that's the background about how I decided to do what I'm doing. And so you can see on the screen, using the book review template is what I created in this Scribe. So Vivek, I think you could click on that now. And
yeah, but just before that, I think you created it and you shared it with me.
Yes, I did.
In an email. So this is the email. So when I got to it by clicking on this link here, then that prompts me to download the extension and everything. And then it allows, it essentially says I've completed the 40% of the full setup, whatever that is. But anyway, I suppose if I create my own Scribe, then it would probably reach 100%. Anyway, yeah. So this is the one that you have shared with us, with me.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me click on that. And it opens this one. And here.
Yeah. So then the next thing you need to do is click on that link that's at the top.
Yeah. But I don't really understand what is this part. This part is actually the
The steps that Scribe recorded.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. I was going to explain that when you open the next when you open that when you click on
Okay.
there.
Okay. So I open this link.
Yeah.
It is opened, not fully yet. Okay.
There
Now
it is.
this
Yeah.
part is the part from Scribe. This
Correct.
part. I wonder whether Paul, can you confirm? Can you see the mouse moving? Okay.
Yeah. You might have to move your screen, our pictures. You might have to move them around a little bit in order to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then on the middle screen, what you're seeing is the actual template that I created.
This is the Google slide template.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is the part from Scribe.
Scribe. And the intent is for you to be able to look at follow the instructions that Scribe gives you on the right-hand side, and then in the actual template to do what is suggested, so that you've got instructions on the right-hand side, and you've got the actual thing in the center and the left-hand side that allows you to actually carry out the steps. Okay, so that makes sense to everyone. So, so basically, what I
did do was, as per the instruction there, I navigated to this one by clicking on that. So that's when this opened. So the first step is done.
Right.
So now the next step.
Yeah. And Sarah, so there you're clicking in the middle of the screen. So you've got the slide. So you can see where it says click here, and then it shows you. And then if you go on to the next one, that I've said open the template. And so you're clicking there. And then the next one says click file to make a copy. So in other words, what I was suggesting that you would want to do if you're using a template, you don't just fill it in. What you do is you make a copy of the template and fill it in so that you don't lose the template. So that's what I was recommending there.
What you're saying there is click file.
Yeah.
And then make copy this one here.
Yes.
And then you're saying.
So down you can see that it shows you all those little pieces. Yeah.
Entire presentation.
Yeah.
Click on that.
Yeah.
And click the name field, that is this one. Click on that, give it a name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think as we go down, I suggest that you put the name of the book that you're reviewing in the title, so that if you happen to be doing more than one book review, you would know which book it is for. Yeah. So, again, and we discovered yesterday, didn't we, Vivek, that if you click that make a copy, it will make a copy, and it takes a few minutes for it to roll over and for everything to sort of come back to
And the good thing is those instructions that were there on the right hand side will come back here.
Yeah.
It has opened a new copy as a new tab. You see, it is still here, and it's not scroll up or down. It is at the same place where it was before I clicked on that button there. Before I mean, I followed the instructions. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And here, I think you are saying.
So
I-
let's stop for a minute so that I can kind of go back and kind of review what you need to do if you're starting a new one. So if you're one thing I discovered was that if you've just opened Chrome and you've got the Chrome screen open, it doesn't let you record there. So you have to open a new tab and go to what you want to work with. And once you do that, then it shows us kind of a circle in the bottom corner of the screen that is it's the record button. So you hit the record and then you actually do all the steps that you want everybody to know how to do. And so you do all of the steps, and you're able to stop the recording, or you're able to pause it if you need to. And then before you're finished, you can go in and you can edit. So I didn't want to walk you through all of those steps because what happens is it records every single keystroke that you take. And so that means that you have to go in and really edit it down. Now, I at the very beginning, I was careful to edit a lot of those things out. But as we get to the end, I didn't take the time to do that. I just wanted to give you the sense of what it does. So, but when you're done, you then click save, and then there's a share button that jumps up, and then you can copy the link and show it to people. So Vivek and I have run through that a couple of times. The first time it was very awkward, wasn't it? And I ended up removing that and starting it over again based on what I learned from the first experience. So my intent was for us to think about whether that would be really useful, and in what circumstances would you find that really, really useful. And the Scribe itself, they promote themselves as making life easy for your team. They promote, do a lot of promotion about adding people to your team. So my conclusion was it is intended for a large organization, perhaps, where you're trying to orient somebody to maybe a new process of some sort, and to be able to walk people through all the specific steps of that process.
In other words, it helps you to create a kind of tutorial which will hopefully help them, I mean, doing a lot of hand holding as your trainee goes through the steps.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I started thinking, so I wonder if there are any uses for something like this for a solopreneur. So that's what I was hoping we would try to kind of explore and think about you know, what sort of uses. And of course, I've got a couple of alternatives that we have tried, that, well, to be honest, I would say I think our system worked better than this. But I wanted to get some sense of your impression of, you know, having something that would record every single keystroke and being able to share it. So I don't know. I sort of felt that for our group, and here's the other piece. I think it's intended for people that are not very tech savvy. And when I think about you know, going through those one keystroke at a time, I want to move on. I want to get to it because I know what to do. And so that was my reaction. What about you, Vivek? How do you react to that?
Yeah, I think when I went through the instructions on the right hand side, it was the instructions were every click. It was explaining what to do, and it gets a bit tedious when
And basically, I mean, I was adding instructions to do this, click here or whatever. I was in every one of those little sections. There's a way that you can write your own instructions if you want to. But
I suppose the good thing about the whole thing is it does capture the screen with the that yellow circle kind of thing, pointing out where you're supposed to click the mouse and all that. So it captures the screen. So if I compare this to, say, Camtasia, for example, Camtasia can capture everything that you do, but it's in a video.
Right.
It gives you a video format, and you have to play the entire video. And it does not give you any screen captures and those highlights things in screen captures. It's a big video. It creates a video file. You have to play that video file. Whereas this one, it gives you a file with all those screen captures one below the other, and you'll be able to go as a user of the product. You can scroll down, scroll up, wherever you want to go, and follow through. So in that sense, it's advantageous. I suppose you need to be very precise about where you, I mean, this is for when you're trying to create the scribe itself. Probably you need to be very clear about what you want to do. You have to be very clear. You're going to take the mouse to this menu item, scroll down 3 menu items and click on that, and then you should be very, very precise. You do anything extra, all that extra does get recorded.
Which is what I ended up doing. I had to remove a lot of steps in there because, and I had actually written down exactly what I wanted to do. And still there were extra steps in there that I felt were unnecessary for understanding what you needed to do. So my question, Fred, for example, your group of people that you work with, could you see any application for that sort of a group?
I'm not sure because this is first of all, this is a Google app, is it not?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's a extension to
Chrome.
Chrome, and then yeah.
So it's been developed by Google to assist you.
No, it's not developed by Google. It's by somebody else.
But it's a Google extension then. Okay.
Yeah.
And it works with Google Docs and Google everything. You know,
It works with the Chrome browser. I would put it that way. It works with the Chrome browser, and any activity you do on the Chrome browser can be recorded in this using this tool and presented as a tutorial to somebody. So if you have to follow a certain process, you have a few steps for whatever you want to achieve, you have a set of process you want to, and it is a browser based thing. For example, you want somebody to go to a particular website, click on the link somewhere, some particular menu option you want them to do, all that process. It's I don't see that it's necessarily for a Google Doc, but with any Google Doc, it would be.
And the instruction, I think I said at the beginning, and maybe I didn't explain it. It's free if you're creating something that you can access and do online in the cloud. If you want to demonstrate something that is from a program within your system, your own computer system, then it's pro. You have to pay for it. So that's the main thing. But as long as it's something you can access from within Chrome, then you can use it. Yeah. And I bet you were about to say not all of your all of the people that you connect with are Chrome users.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it fits in exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm just curious to know whether you could see any application. That's basically what I wanted to know.
I don't know who. I think you're trying to lead somebody, like you said, they're not very computer literate. Maybe they're not familiar with certain aspects of what you're doing. So you're trying to educate them or encourage them to use whatever you've set up, such as you set up a template and you want them to do the book review, or and that's where I'm struggling with saying, well, where and who would you use that? I don't.
So maybe there isn't one. I mean, that's the question. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
I'm trying to understand the whole purpose of this, and I still don't get it really. That you know what Script is trying to do. At first, I thought it was, oh, we're going to work collaboratively on Scribe. Okay, that's probably why I'm getting mixed up. If we're working on Scribe, it sort of means to me you're working on something collaboratively, like you're creating a manual and you want people to do it. That's what I thought it was at first, but it doesn't appear to be that. I'm not sure. So I can't answer your question.
I think that part is already there, as in LowellAnn created the Scribe and then shared it with me I mean, let me share the screen here and show you. I mean, she sent me, I got this email from her, and she has given me the edit permission, so I can go and edit it. So when I edit it and she also edits it, it does become a collaboration. So what you were saying was, training manual can be created collaboratively, and you can use it to train people.
Hmm.
But the limitation I see immediately is the fact that since it records almost everything that you do, you end up removing all the unnecessary clutter that is there in that whole document that is created. A lot of editing is required, and that would, in effect, limit the usefulness of the tool. Unless you are aiming to train 100, 200 of your employees. I mean, that seems to be their focus. Their target is a company who has to train 200 newcomers in the process that they follow. They can use this tool, create this Scribe thing, share it with them. And while sharing, I think it gives an option to only view it. When it is, I think when they are given an option only to view it, they can only view it and follow through the instructions, do as the instructions instruct them to do, and get trained in whatever it is trying to train. So yeah, but I think the aim is corporates with 100, 200 people to be trained. If it is less than that, I don't know. Not sure whether it is worthwhile the effort.
So it's really creating guides for somebody new to your company or your organization. This is how you would do it, probably on a computer. In other words, you're training them how to use some computer project or some computer. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But I was trying to I was racking my brain as to whether there would be an application for a solopreneur. That's what what I'm trying to get at. Do any of us see any possibility here, from some of the stuff that we do and the client, excuse me, the clients that we work with? Paul, what about you? Do you, I mean, from all the people that you're connected with, can you see any application for something like this?
One immediately. I sit on a condo board. Our management company uses a computer program. The manual they have for it is crap. So for anybody who is in our condo that wants to do something, having something like this to show them how to get the information out of that system, I think would work much better than what we than trying to read a manual. Let's just put it that way, because it goes step by step, and often once you've used a program, you understand how the guy who put it together was thinking.
Right.
Then you become intuitive as to how to use it. But when you first start to use it, you go like, well, that's not logical. So this gives you step by step. As far as solopreneurs, I think it has applications if you are wanting people to do a particular thing. I think that has a step-by-step process, and I'm trying to think of something right now. Well, let's say you're I don't know, you sell Ubrew products or something, and the step-by-step process to how to use the product, something like that might be, it might be worthwhile. The other programs that we've used, I think all of us that capture video are good, but I find myself in lots of cases when I'm watching those, I have to sort of stop them where this program goes step by step. And I think you can sort of, if you look at the step and you think, oh, okay, I get it, you can move to the next one. So
At your own speed.
yeah, that's
So,
the
Vivek, could
only-
you stop screen sharing so we can see Paul's face? Thank you. Yeah, so that is one advantage that I see, is it allows people to do something at their own speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sort of if our client group or our target client is a total newbie, has never encountered whatever before, it might be, it might be useful. Yeah. So I mean, we've had some long conversations about this, and we started thinking about the way we handled something similar when we created the website for courses website, and how we did it there. And what we did was we used slides with information. We did videos, and we included screenshots with arrows pointing, etc. And for myself, I mean, it was it was much more, as the person creating it, it was way more enjoyable in the creation process. But I have a sense that it was every bit as effective as this would be. Fred, I think you're the only one who could answer that, because you've done that. You worked your way through that course. So
Yeah, I think you're right, LowellAnn. I think the process you had with, the course that you did was more effective to what I wanted to do, is, to train somebody how to set up a youth club. Then this would be, I think this would be really too much detail. And but I think what Paul said, if you had an application and you wanted people to a specific application, and you wanted to help them learn how to use it, that may be where this can fit in. So if you're a solopreneur and you've created I guess it would be a computer product that you want to lead the people through, that may be where this would fit in. So that's very specific for solopreneurs, I would think. Whereas your course, creating a course, that could be about anything. It's not about using a computer program. Mine was how to set up a youth club, which is not computer oriented.
No.
So that was much more flexible, I think, than this. It sounds like it's very specific. How to use this computer program, or how to use a computer to do something, and lead you through it, which is often a challenge anyway. You come to say, how do I use this program? Well, that's maybe where this fits in.
So Vivek, I'm just looking at the time. Do you think we have time to show at least a portion of that video I shared with you earlier, to see another way to do something similar? Do you think you can share that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me.
There's no voice, so I don't think you need to click the sound thing. And this I just stumbled on in a now what I'm seeing is Google. Okay, that must be there. That's the So now he's taking you right to the very beginning of this, and just in case you're curious, it's about how to integrate reCAPTCHA into a contact form. But I was fascinated by the way he had in the background, he had what you're doing, and then he had this card, and it's not too fast. It just kind of moves along and rolls off. And I found I was trying to learn how to do something because I need to do it, and I found this process was really, really useful. So in fact, way more useful than the Scribe thing that I was working on. So I think that's enough. I mean, it's not, I just wanted to, for you to be able to see that there are other ways to do it. And I thought that was way more useful. But then again, I was quite familiar with what was in the background. I mean, that was the back end of a WordPress site. And I knew exactly what it was I wanted to do. And that's what it did start at the very beginning of showing you how to sign in and download and, do all of that. But the steps were there, and those big red things, and they were there for a good length of time, and then they rolled away, and then they pointed to where to find it. I found that was very, very successful. So,
but I wonder what he used to create.
We don't know. I think I might have to email him and ask him if I can. It was I found it in YouTube. Yeah. But and Fred, when you were saying, or one of you, I don't know if it was Fred or Paul, what you were saying that when you can find a YouTube usually, and then you have to play it and then stop it and do it and then go back, and there are steps there for sure. But I found myself in that last one, as I was the customer looking at that. I was able to write down the steps that I needed to follow. And I wasn't able to do it at the time or as I was going, because I need to wait until something else happens in that website before it's the right time to do that. And I was just doing the research ahead of time, so that when the site goes live, I will have all the steps already down and ready to roll. And I have a pretty good understanding of what needs to happen, but I've got the steps written down that I took off of those cards going. So, yeah. Anyway, I mean, I didn't want to. I actually didn't. I mean, when this all started, I thought, oh, the way it was described, that maybe this would be a really useful tool. But as I went through the process, I was less convinced than ever that it was all that useful. If you want to know the truth, I think there may be some easier, better ways to do it. I didn't want to be seen as actually promoting this, because I'm not promoting it, although I'm not saying it's useless either. I mean, it's like everything else, isn't it? It depends on what it is that you're trying to achieve and for whom you're trying to achieve it. So that's kind of, yeah. So I don't really have any more to say about that, unless anybody else has an observation or a comment. And we've, like I say, we sort of found something that Paul might find interesting. So if we stopped recording and, you know, finish this, and then we could stay on Zoom and we could tell you about it.
Yeah, probably last word from Fred, as usual.
Well, I
Since he
appreciate it,
is here.
Vivek, but I think we've covered everything. I don't think I've got anything really much to add.
Yeah.
I get the impression now it's really if you want a step-by-step guide to use a computer application or something like that, that's where it works. That's what it
Yeah.
seems to me, and that's what Paul suggested. It resonated with him. So that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so I will draw us to a close with a reminder. It's important to do what you love with passion. And I will hit the Alt-4, which will take the which will take us through the outro. And when that's finished, I will stop recording. Okay.